video. I hope all is well with you. All is well with me. The reason that I haven't made a video or a vlog in a while is there's really nothing been going on. It's been kind of quiet here. I originally started doing these videos just to kind of document the whole COVID-19 pandemic in my area and how it relates to me. And to be honest, my last video, we've been put on lockdown, I guess. Governor Pritzker has locked us down all the way until April 30th. For me, it's not that big of a deal. My life doesn't change much. I didn't go out much to begin with, so for me, nothing's really changed. I still have to go to work. Obviously, I'm a fireman. My job is obviously considered essential, so nothing changes for me on a day-to-day basis. The only thing that really changed for me, I guess, I should take that back. The only thing that really changed for me is when I do have to go to the store, shopping is a little bit more difficult. Everybody knows that toilet paper and all that is still really hard to come by for whatever reason. Toilet paper and cleaning supplies are still really hard to come by. It makes no sense to me why it's still happening. Everybody bought so much toilet paper and cleaning supplies to start off with. I don't know how they're out already, but it's still really hard to find that stuff. As far as work, I've only come into contact with one patient that has been confirmed COVID-19. Me and the crew that I was with, we all took proper PPE precautions, so we should have no risk of exposure. Not much more to say than that. We wore CDC recommended PPE, so we should have no exposure. That did happen 4 days ago now. So within 4 days, I've had no symptoms 4 days in, so that's good. I guess I heard on the news this morning that the average time for symptoms to develop average is like 5 days. But it's anywhere from 2 to 14 days, obviously. 4 days in, no symptoms, which is really, really good. As far as I call them my side jobs or whatever, but they're my second and third jobs. I have not been there since around the time of my last videos, the last time I worked there. Due to this whole pandemic thing, I'm just trying to not expose myself any more than I really have to. Unfortunately, the timeline for this isn't working out so well. I thought we would have been done with the whole uptick in cases, and we'd be coming back down at this point. So now I'm kind of in a situation where it's like I can't keep not working my second jobs. I work them for a reason. I work them for them, one, because I like to do it, but two, everybody does things what they do for money, right? It's not all, it's like a job isn't a hobby, it's still work. So, everyone does it for money. Everyone does things for money. So having that extra cash flow in every couple of weeks was really nice. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to go back here, and the uptick in, we're still climbing in the amount of cases. We're not on the downward swing yet. We were told the other day that they're projecting our surge in cases over the next 2 weeks from now. It's a weird situation I'm in personally. All right, we'll get through it. Not a big problem. Everywhere I work so far has, at this time anyways, we're doing okay with the whole PPE situation. So I'm sure things will change. Man, other than that, I've just been kind of laying low. I am on the way home from work right now, which is nice. I have 2 days off. I guess I could talk a little bit about the person I did see that had the COVID-19. Obviously, since no addresses, no names are being given out, and I'm just talking about pure symptoms. There's no HIPAA violations or anything like that. This person had was was just like on the news, everything they're telling you. He had fever, very pale. The patient was very pale. Didn't feel well. Body aches, sore throat, fever, and a cough. But the cough was almost a little misleading because they said they had the cough for going on 3 months now. So who knows? Maybe the COVID was hitting them harder than the normal because of the underlying cough. But did have a pretty nasty sounding cough. It sounded like a pneumonia style cough, but it was non-productive, which is pretty common from what we're being told about COVID symptoms. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, it's just a lot of information being given to healthcare workers, at least in our area right now. So much that it's hard to take it all in and process it and remember every little minor detail that you are supposed to follow. So medical protocols that we're using to treat all patients are changing. It's just strange. It's kind of... The only comment I'll make about it is it seems like we're going back to a very older style way of treating patients, if that makes any sense. The last time we talked, I don't think I had canceled it yet, but I had to cancel my trip to Las Vegas for obvious reasons. Vegas is closed. I was supposed to go to Las Vegas March 30th and come home April 3rd, which is this past week. I was supposed to be in Vegas the whole week, and I was supposed to come home last Friday. Unfortunately, I was not able to go. And I was supposed to stay at New York, which is an MGM owned hotel. They actually canceled my reservation and gave me my money back. And so I had to get travel vouchers for my Spirit Airlines flight, which isn't fun because I don't really want to fly Spirit if I don't have to. But now I have all this spent money on airline tickets. And what really sucks is when travel becomes okay again, I'm going to have all this, traveling is going to be dirt cheap. And I'm going to have all this travel credit with an airline I really am not happy to fly with. So I got that looking forward to as well. It's weird not having any sports at all. I live in a rural suburb of Chicago, we'll put it that way. And, you know what, the Chicago Cubs are the team of the area, basically. Who's a Sox fan anyways? Home opener was supposed to be on March 30th, so we got no baseball in town. How crazy is that? No baseball. We don't know if football is going to start, even though they're saying the season should start on time. I highly doubt that. Man, it's just crazy to think of what's going on right now. No sports. I mean, the NCAA just canceled everything. Baseball, you'll probably get half a season of baseball, if there's even a baseball season. Like I said, they think football is going to start on time. I don't think we're going to have a football season. I think all big gatherings like that are going to be taboo for the next year and a half. Most of the country's locked down till April 30th. When I say locked down, we're not locked down, but the stay-at-home orders. It's going to be extended again. I don't know why they're teasing people with this thought of, we're going to be able to leave, go back out into society. April 30th, we're going to open the restaurants up again. No, that's not going to happen. They're just trying not to cause panic, but it's going to be extended. It's going to be extended another 30 days. I would bet money on that happening. I don't know why they don't just come out with it. It is what it is. The last little thing I want to talk about is a little bit of mental health stuff. I am in no means a professional in regards to mental health and mental health self-care and all that kind of stuff. Anytime we have weird mental health stuff, you should always see a professional. I also made the decision to distance myself from social media and distance myself from mainstream news media a little bit. Reason being is because, hold on here, we got some traffic I'm gonna have to pass. Got this guy who doesn't know how to fucking drive. Alright, anyways, so I decided to distance myself from mainstream media and social media. I'm going to comment on social media first, and then I'll talk about mainstream media. The reason I decided to distance myself from social media is because you can't tell what stories are true and what stories are false anymore. It's pretty much what it is. Like, everybody just kind of shares and posts everything that scares them, and all that does is, you know, it's just pulls at your anxiety strings and your fear strings and makes everybody worry and panic. And half those stories that you see on social media aren't true. If you take the 15-20 minutes to research every single story you see on there, you're going to find that 3/4 of those stories are false, and they're wrong, and they're just trying to scare you into thinking the world's going to end. And so I decided to kind of back away from that. And what's funny is that as soon as you put your phone down, right, and you stop looking at that stuff for a while, or you make a conscious effort to look at like a different style subject on your social media accounts, you stop getting suggested all those terrible accounts. What's even more crazy is, so let's say you have a friend, right, who's posting that stuff all the time, and you stop liking their videos, or you stop liking their posts, and you start liking other posts, and it kind of totally changes your timeline, right? And you go, man, I haven't seen this person post anything for a while, so I'm just gonna go check their profile to see what's happening with them, make sure they're okay. But COVID, anyways, so you go and check their profile, and then you see a post they like, right? Or you see a post you like from them, and you like it. The next thing you know, your entire timeline then changes to all the nasty negative posts that they've made again. It's almost like Facebook is promoting that fear aspect of everything. It's quite interesting, and it's quite scary to see that, to kind of live in this time when social media has that much control over the information that's presented to you. Also, in regards to mainstream media, it's just like social media. You don't know what's true and what's false anymore. Every day now, I don't know if I talked about this in my last video or not, I don't remember. But if you go to the mainstream media, like Fox, NBC, CNN, all those channels, they literally have like stock market tickers with positive and negative arrows, like in regards to how many coronavirus cases there are and how many deaths there have been. And you know, every day it's worse. And it's just, well, yes, every day is going to be worse. A lot of, you know, it was widely known to begin with that this virus spreads very easily among people who don't wash. It's very easily spread by people who don't cover when they blow their nose or they cough or whatever, right? It was very well known that it was easily spread, but the problem was that we didn't have tests. So it was spreading. We don't have tests. Well, now everybody's making tests, so there's a lot more tests out there, and a lot of people are being tested, and well, of course the case numbers are going to go up. Everybody's being tested now, so it shouldn't be a shocker. And yeah, so I don't even trust the mainstream media at this point. It's a very scary time we live in, to the point when you can't trust a news network to give you the news. They have to spin it for their own agenda. I'm not going to get political. I do have my beliefs. on which news media outlet is safe to watch. But even watching that specific news media outlet, you do have to kind of go into it open-minded and kind of filter out some of the political stuff. Yeah, crazy times. What's the saying what was the saying? It was like, never let a good crisis go to waste. And the news media outlets are doing a very good job of that right now. Yeah, other than that, my life hasn't really changed much. It's good for me. To kind of recap, like I said, I've only come into contact with one tested, confirmed positive case. That's not to say I haven't come in contact with anyone else who hasn't been tested, but this person specifically was tested and it did come back positive. Like I said earlier, we took our PPE precautions, so we're good, and we're all on self-monitoring just because we did come in contact with somebody. I'm sure things are gonna ramp up here for me. I'm hoping they don't. By all means, I hope they don't. When things start to ramp up, we'll talk more about that. In the meantime, everybody, make sure you wash your hands. If you're sick, stay home, call your doctor, call 911 if it is a true emergency. And if you're not sure whether it's an emergency or not, call your healthcare physician or even call the ambulance, okay? Don't withhold care for yourself if you really think you need it, but only call if you really, really need it, okay? Don't hoard toilet paper anymore. You don't need to hoard cleaning supplies. We're getting through this. Stay safe, stay clean, and peace.